Welcome to an at-home version of the Ohio State Football Report. Billy BB with you, and you guys know if we are at home, it means there is breaking news with Ohio State football. We're getting ready for the winter storm here in Ohio, but the Buckeyes not waiting, or the news not waiting, on Ohio State's next offensive coordinator. It will be Arthur Smith. We've got an NFL connection once again for Ohio State. Their DC, their OC, both are going to be NFL guys at this point in time. We have a lot to break down with this hire for the Buckeyes of Arthur Smith as their next OC. Great example, though. This is why you subscribe to the Ohio State Football Report. Latest breaking news, we're jumping right at it. We're going to have a short social media post, so on and so forth. So be sure, good reason now, if you're not subscribed, hit that sub button right now. Saw it from Adam Schefter of ESPN. First, Ohio State is finalizing a deal with former Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. That deal getting done to become the next Ohio State offensive coordinator. And very interesting here, okay? So most recently, Arthur Smith was the Steelers offensive coordinator. He was the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons before that. For a couple years, and then he had made his mark in Tennessee as an offensive coordinator. And I will note, our understanding is this offseason, Arthur Smith was in the mix for NFL jobs, for the Giants, for the Titans. I don't know as far as like interviews, second interviews, but like reached out to at least, talked to at least, going through it. Arthur Smith had NFL juice, which we talked about on this show. Guys with NFL juice usually are not going to go back to college. So either A, he did not find a gig he liked. Mike McCarthy was just hired by the Steelers, and it's possible, maybe he didn't want to work for Mike McCarthy if he was up for that job with Pittsburgh, or you name it. But Arthur Smith had NFL consideration. He was in NFL consideration, recently for the NFL, which is very interesting to me because I thought Ohio State was going to get somebody who either A, couldn't move up in the NFL and wanted to call plays right now, or was done in the NFL and didn't have any more juice, but they get Arthur Smith. Looking through last piece of college experience, he was Ole Miss defensive intern in 2010. That got him into the NFL, and he's been in the NFL ever since. Known as a creative play caller. That's how he got his job with Atlanta. Ryan Day does it again with the NFL connection. That's the very interesting part here is getting that NFL guy. And again, we've talked about it in detail what the Buckeyes were looking for. We'll jump into that in just a second. But grade the Arthur Smith hiring right now. A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts. Ohio State getting former NFL offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. You'll see the stash in plenty of the photos. He will be Ohio State's next offensive coordinator. Leave the grading of this hire in the comment section below. A, B, C, D, or F. So on the show, on the Ohio State Football Report, we had notes from, it was specifically from Letterman Row, Austin Ward. We talked about the process and what Ryan Day was looking for, what Ryan Day wanted in his next offensive coordinator. No doubt there were in-house discussions, and we will talk about that eventually, and those guys and those names and everything there. But the three notes that we kind of gathered with Ohio State's offensive coordinator search and what they were looking for. External candidate. This is what they thought most likely they would go for outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. An external candidate. Part-time recruiting. So again, I do think it'll be a situation where, like Chip Kelly, where maybe they're helping or they can meet them or talk with recruits or portal players or whatever. But I don't think Arthur Smith is going to be on the road with Ryan Day coming up, going to high schoolers' homes and trying to get them to become Buckeyes. Part-time recruiting absolutely always seemed like a part of the gig. And then, of course, NFL experience was appreciated but not required is what they were thinking. And, of course, Arthur Smith has plenty of NFL experience. So, really, the three topics we presented on the NFL or on the Ohio State Football Report from it was from Letterman Row, so I'll give them credit there. Austin Ward was the one kind of mocking all that up. What we put up there from them happened. All of it happened. Looking for that NFL experience outside Columbus was ended up being a big thing, and it ends up being Arthur Smith. And my discussion turns to, yes, absolutely, quality candidate, good candidate, and NFL experience, and that's Ohio State for you, right? Is they can get NFL people that have NFL juice to come to college for a year. That's my question now. Is it 1 year? Is it another Chip Kelly situation where Arthur Smith is going to use Ohio State as a stepping stone? We'll jump to that, discuss that more in just a second. Plus the inside guys, we got to talk about the inside candidate. Did want to let you guys know this at-home video is presented by Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, this also means it's your last chance to get into football action before next season. So close out the season right on Prize Picks, where you can get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup, and that's code CLNS when you do it to get that deal. Big thing right now is early payouts. We've shown you guys 4 pick power plays. If you're sitting at 2 of those power plays right after the first game on Championship Sunday per se, you want to cash out, that is a possibility now on Prize Picks. You also can copy lineups. That's a big one too, right? You see our lineups, someone else's lineups, part of it, all of it, copy it, and use it in the new tab they've got right there, the social tab. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So, as I mentioned just before we heard from our good friends at Prize Picks, I think this is another possibility of a 1 or 2 year stay for Arthur Smith. Still has NFL relevance, maybe in this cycle, and maybe Ryan Day is going to do this every single year. I don't know, until he finds somebody who sticks. This cycle, Arthur Smith didn't find something that worked out for him. He wanted to maybe stay with the Steelers. They get a new head coach. He wanted the Giants job, perhaps, or there was interest there. They get a good one in John Harbaugh. Even the Titans deal, where he just didn't get enough juice to get that job. Cycle works out, but it doesn't work out for Arthur Smith. And just like Chip Kelly, again, Smith doesn't necessarily need the juice to become an NFL name again. He's already got it, but these guys love football, and if it didn't work out for you in this cycle, you didn't find something you liked in the cycle, boom, pivot to a really good job as the offensive coordinator of the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think it's a perfect move, and it's a lot of what people thought would happen. Now, for Buckeye fans, I think it's interesting, the 1-2 year stay thing. We're going to be back in this position next year if Arthur Smith gets a head coaching job, an OC job he likes. My question for you guys, go ahead and predict it for me now. How long will Arthur Smith be at Ohio State? What do you guys think about that? Is it a 1 year stay? Could we get 2 max like it looks like Matt Patricia? I don't know. Matt Patricia might be a Buckeye tenure now. He likes Ohio State, it seems like. But how long will Arthur Smith be at Ohio State? I think it's a relevant question to ask if it's another Chip Kelly situation, or if it is like Matt Patricia, where Arthur Smith is been in the NFL for 15 years and he's sick of the ups and downs, life changes, and Matt Patricia called him and told him how great Columbus, Ohio is and college football is, and bam, he's a long-term guy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. How long will Arthur Smith be at Ohio State? Now Ryan Day can move into his his CEO role. His CEO role. That's what we've heard over and over. That's what he wants. He obviously excelled at it in 2024. And I know a lot of people ask, what does that mean, CEO? It means Arthur Smith can be in charge of the offense. Players can go to Arthur Smith. He can run the playbook. He can do the prep every week. Ryan Day can look at defense, can look at offense, can look at roster changes, can deal with injuries, can deal with media, instead of having to put together an offensive game plan. And again, I think Ryan Day is a good offensive play caller. He's proven that. Wasn't great in the Cotton Bowl this past year, but I believe in Ryan Day as a play caller. Biggest thing is, I think he wants to ease into that role as well. He wants to be a CEO in college football and just kind of take care of things in college football, which is very valuable in college football, and I think is now more valuable than ever with the transfer portal, right? And the world of college football changing, having a coach that is going to be focused on everything, on every aspect of it, of the future of next week, of 5 weeks down the road, of conference changes, college football, and it's not just I have to worry about an offensive game plan this week. I have to worry about a script to call plays. I have to worry about this, that. I have to sit down personally with the quarterback and go over the whole. Nope. He wants to get offensive coordinators. The question is, I think it's interesting. This is an every year thing now. He's happy doing this. Very interesting to me that every single year possibly. And this seems like another 1 or 2 year hire. I don't know. Again, Arthur Smith could love Columbus enough, but sitting down and just every single year having to find a new name for the offensive coordinator role, that's very, very interesting to me. From Ryan Day and from Ohio State to go through that every single year. That's an interesting tidbit that they're going to have going. But it is Arthur Smith as Ohio State's next offensive coordinator. With the Steelers last year as an OC, Falcons head coach, Titans OC is really where he made his mark, about 15 years of NFL experience, and now next year he is finalizing a deal to become the next offensive coordinator of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Be sure to subscribe. More information like this comes your way all the time when you subscribe to the Ohio State Football Report.